Namaste, what's going on, beautiful souls? Today I'm feeling guided to just share about the journey of a spiritual awakening. Some people refer as this journey as a spiritual ascension. First of all, I am not here to force anything into anyone. I am not here claiming to have it all figured out. And I'm not trying to disrespect anyone. Please remember to use your discernment, take what resonates, leave the rest. And now, why do I feel guided to talk? Well, because I come to notice, not just here on YouTube, but in other platforms, that there's a lot of people lost, confused, and feeling very frustrated and very angry because it's like people are waiting for things to change. People are waiting for outcomes and blessings, people are just waiting, and there are many people expressing how they're giving up and how they're frustrated. Okay, and so I'm just here to share. That's what I do. I want to say that I've been walking this path for almost 8 years. um I'm not gonna lie, and I don't have to, right? We humans, we're so used to using this kind of phrases or words, not even know why, right? Moving forward, it's not it's not easy. This journey is not for the faint at heart. This journey is not about forcing, cannot be forced. This journey requires sacrifice. If there is something I can say, is that this journey requires true spiritual commitment. This journey is going to take you into the underworld. This journey is going to show you the truth of what we refer as reality, right? This journey, it really does take you into what we have heard, the hero's journey, right? We can think about the tarot. That's literally, symbolic. It's an expression of the journey that a person, a soul goes through when they are called to correct and to seek direction, to remember. Okay. There are stages to this journey. Once again, this journey requires a spiritual commitment. This journey is gonna call you into accountability. This journey is gonna call you into responsibility. This journey is gonna call you into correction, into spiritual understanding. It's gonna take you into getting to know yourself, getting to know the beauty of you, of your essence and your authenticity. But also, it's gonna get you into realizing how separated we can be living and existing sometimes. It's going to take you into facing your fears, your shadows, into facing the aspects of you that you believe that they are not worthy of being lovable, the aspects of you that you might be criticizing and judging within others, but that you don't want to take a look at, because they do exist within you too, and now different degrees. Yes, same in nature, right? This journey requires full honesty. This journey requires attending to ancestral healing, walking away from unhealthy habits, unhealthy connections. Yes, I'm talking about having to, for some of us, divorce, for some of us, separation, for some of us, relocation, moving, leaving behind the old life and going into a place where you go into hermit mode and all is new. For some of us, this is about confronting, right? Certain life challenges where you're going to have to be dealing with everything that is freaking annoying and uncomfortable. Yes. I mean, paperwork, having to go to court, taxes, finances, right? Resources, everything that got to do with the home, with the family. Unhealthy habits, I already said that. Addictions, anything that got to do with our comfort zone, things that we're attached to. If we're attached to labels, to college degrees, to having certain amounts of money in our bank, if you are attached to any label in true, okay, it's gonna challenge if you're attached in relationships. Emotional codependency is gonna challenge if you are attached to dependency. It's going to, gosh, it's gonna shake off what there is deceptive foundations, weak foundations. Everything is gonna and is meant to be crumbling down. This is the truth behind the journey. And now, obviously, the different people, you are on your own journey, different stages. Like I said, there are degrees to our shadows and our light attributes, and it depends where you at, right? And it depends what you have signed up for. But at the end of the day, the sacrifice of our human vices is number one, and the embodiment of virtues is for sure. We have to empty ourselves from attachments. We have to empty ourselves from unhealthy habits. We have to empty ourselves from anything that we're holding on to, where we are seeking a sense of unworthy, unvaluable, safety, right? A lot of us, obviously, and because of the programmings and the conditionings of this world, a lot of us, we go into relationships seeking safety. We have been programmed to approach relationships from places where we believe we're lacking. Approaching relationships saying, okay, what is it that I'm lacking that this person have? Because consciously or unconsciously, we believe that we're incapable to move forward, or because we are acting on our vanity, greed, manipulation, our shadows. And so we have to reevaluate our sense of self, our sense of independence. What is our relationship with our finances? How do you feel about accountability, responsibility, mental health issues? We have to think about our relationship with our finances, our relationship with our children, with our home, our relationship with evolution, growth, learning. Some people are meant to go into education. You're going to be taken into certain places. You are going to have to, again, let's say that you have an unhealthy attachment to your family. Okay, let's say that you're someone also very empathic and you are repeating the pattern of self-sacrifice, where you're not following your soul growth and evolution because you feel responsible for your family, and you are just lost in the hand of mercy, but the hand of severity is not there, and you get lost in somebody else's lives and business, and so what happens, right? You're gonna have to sacrifice, leaving behind, not forever, but setting even physical distance with your family, with these members, with these people. We have to recognize that there's unhealthy dynamics within our families. And so everything is going to be challenged when you are being called into correction. I like to say, when you are experiencing a spiritual awakening, you're being called. Some answer, and then they decide that they're not going to go. They're not going to follow. They keep holding on to the old ways. They never get into committing 100%. Okay? Some people answer, and they commit, and they progress. Okay? Some people believe that they are moving forward, but they might be just intellectualizing spirituality. They might also be involved in some kind of new age spirituality. I'm not being judgmental. I don't feel an entitlement. Like I said, I'm just sharing. I share my personal, based on my personal experience. I share because I have to move through it, and it's been working for me because I'm not stuck. I'm not in lack. You know what I mean? I have been there to a point, but I kept going, and I have manifested things. You know, I have manifested movement forward. I have manifested healing connection. I have manifested living in my purpose. I have manifested, a sense of healthy self-love and self-worth and independence. And you just know. You just know because the universe, you see that there's gaining momentum, that things are flowing. You see miracles start to happen in your life, and you know there's healing happening. There's reconciliation within families, and you experience a lot of growth. You start to experience things flowing. You know what I mean? It's a journey, right? It's a journey. It's not a destination. But this journey in truth requires sacrifices. It requires deep listening, deep listening. For many of us, a period of hermit mode. For some people, they end up on the street, legit. People end up homeless. Okay? And then boom, they sacrifice, they pay the karmic debt, and they start from zero up, and they succeed. And when I'm talking about success, please let's not take it into the ideal success. So obviously the programming and conditioning in the outside world. But I'm talking about there are many people. I have come across people who have walked away from everything. They have given it all away, and their way that they are living their lives and their journey is so freaking inspiring. It's not even freaking, great reverence for these people. But they knew that their journey, part of this journey was the sacrifice of anything that you are holding on to. Okay? And some family dynamics, there's people who have been together for 36 years and they know that they are done, that they're not growing, that they have been stagnant, that yes, there's a familiarity and that there is a love, but that it's time to go. And there's people who recognize that, and then they choose to walk away, and then you have to go through the whole freaking tower moment, and then the process of healing and all of that. So there's a lot to this journey. There's a lot to this journey, and there's a lot of work that is required. There's a lot of feeling and transmuting pain, and that's a part that a lot of people struggle with, because transmuting pain is going to be is one of our biggest teacher. Transmuting pain? Are you kidding me? To sit with the discomfort of transmuting generations and regenerations and generations of cellular memory of survival, betrayals, addictions, abuse, neglect, unworthy, undeserving, unseeing, abandon, poverty, slavery, separation consciousness, and so many ways. The guilt, the shame, memories of war, memories of struggles and poverty and survival to the maximum. This is the truth behind this journey. And now I don't know where you're meant to be going, where you're meant to be doing, right? Everybody's journey is different. What I really am desiring for you to get out of this damn sharing is for you to really sit with yourself and to observe and examine and practice critical thinking and ask yourself, am I really committed to this journey? Have I really committed to this journey? How do I feel about progressing and moving forward? The truth is that the universe is so freaking organized. Okay? There are laws and principles to this experience. The truth is that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that we came here with contracts, with situations, and with life lessons that we are meant to go through and grow. And yes, some of them are very painful. If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling confused, obviously you need support. It's important to recognize that every person has received some kind of support. And now there's a lot of distortion out there. There's a lot of fake tarot readers, oracle readings. That shit is just like there's a lot of new age programs and systems and fake initiations. There's a lot of the superficial spirituality, no depths to it, no respect to the ancient. It's all new age, right? And it's very easy to get lost there. It's very easy to get lost in there because there are thought forms and there are collective egregores. You need to think in the form of energy. What is driving this person? What is this attached to? What are the spirit people are channeling? What are these initiations? You need to really be intelligent navigating this journey. You are in a hero's journey. The hero goes on a journey, right? You're going to face monsters and tricksters and deception. And it is your job to mature through those challenges. And it is your job to cultivate the gift of discernment, to reconnect with your intuition, to reconnect with your ancestors, to remember who the hell you are, to ask yourself, what are your values? What is it? What is it that I'm looking and longing for? Where is the spirit taking me? Why? We are in the world of Maya. You have to think about your life. Haven't you meet people who look some kind of way and they, sell you something, offer you something? We all have experienced betrayals. We know what it is to be tricksters. And if you are in touch with your humanness and your shadow, you know how easy is to get lost and how easy is to manipulate too. So this is the journey you are in. You are on a journey where you need to ask yourself important questions. Yes to the heart and yes to the intellect, to the logic. There's many people waiting. They're sitting in their waiting room, waiting for something to change, but they are not changing. And you can go and consciously or unconsciously look for readings that are going to confirm, what you want. But you need to stop sometimes and say, oh my God, okay, wait. And I say this because, oh my God, oh hell yeah, I've been there, done that. Where I am attached to a desire or a particular outcome where the part of me that wants control and certainty is looking for something. So I've been there where you just, oh my God, you're just scrolling on social media and you see a post or a reading or come across someone, one of those people who just telling you what you want to hear, and if it just brings comfort because, oh my God, lie to me please, because sitting with the discomfort is horrible. Dealing with the uncertainty, with the unknown, is horrible. Yes. It make you feel open, raw, uncomfortable, and it triggers your survival and your nervous system. And so, oh my God, please, let me just go find some readings that's going to say that he is going to come back, or she is going to text me that, yes, I'm going to win the lottery, that, yes, everything is going to be fixed and I'm going to be able to sleep. Please, please, this is the truth. However, that's not what the growth is. That's not what the changes happen. There is this thing going on with the chosen one. Okay, yes, we're chosen. Yes, we have been chosen. We have been all chosen to be here having a human experience. The people who are attached to the chosen one, that's a label, right? And now, are you attached to being a chosen one because you feel insecure? Are you attached to being the chosen one and now you have expectations that you have to be treated some kind of way because you came here to be a savior or a hero to your family and humanity? These are the kind of questions that we need to ask ourselves, right? Why? Because we as humans, when we are in deep pain and deep suffering, when we have experienced lack of emotional support, and when we have experienced a lot of neglect and abandonment, the child is looking for something to hold on. And we become attached to things, seeking that safety, seeking that reassurance. I'm seeking for something that makes me feel better about myself. But at the end of the day, are things changing? Are things changing, or are you in a cycle of waiting and things? What's happening? You know what I mean? For some people, you're going to be called to work with environmental stuff. For some people, you are meant to go study, believe it or not. For some people, you are meant to work in your house. You're meant to be a spiritual coach and a spiritual guide. For some other people, you're meant to be in the mountains and going to freaking Costa Rica and become, get initiated into shamanism, right? Being a shaman and practicing shamanism are two different things. But this is the thing. What are you guided to? Not everybody is meant to be doing tarot readings, because it's not that you're not worthy. It's not that you cannot be good at it. It's just, if it is not in your soul contract, you're not going to be supported with that, because you came here with a contract. And if you need clarity, you need to find yourself a badass astrologer. You need to know about your south node, your comfort zone. You need to know about your north node. That's why I was saying the divine, the primordials, the planets, everything is organized. There is divine order to everything, you guys. And so if you had been a guru in a past life or a shaman, maybe in this life you came here to be in a relationship because you didn't, let's say you didn't go through that experience, or if you were a monk. And so now you might be finding yourself having a family because maybe in the past life you sacrificed everything to walk the path of spirituality. And so now you're meant to be, for some people, going all in your family and then embodying a spiritual life, and maybe doing some kind of crafts or creativity or working with children. I don't know you. I don't know your life. I just want to give you an idea of what's going on here, of what can be possible for you. For so many of us, we came here to go through unhealthy relationships, attachments, codependency, addictions, and then you're meant to move forward, completely get clean, and then move into what? Becoming a guide, a healer, someone who writes books or shares your story in some kind of way. And so people can say, but hey, I have my spiritual business and I'm doing my tarot readings and I'm getting all of this and all of that. Okay. Well, you can do, anybody can manifest anything. But with that comes an energy, a karmic energy attached to it. You don't know for how long you're going to have that, because it might be a lesson of wanting to control things. It might be a lesson where you might be trying to deceive people or force, if you have the shadow of forcing things. Listen, navigating this is tricky. Just because something is moving, it doesn't mean that it's meant to stay for the long run. So it's important to think things through it. With this journey comes different stages. You need to put the efforts. You need to show consistency. You need to get focused. You have to say no to temptation. You have to say no to distraction. You need to be strategic. We're talking about masculine and feminine, healing our masculine and our feminine, coming into divine union within. Reconciling with ourselves and with the many aspects of ourselves. Overcoming all of the things or many of the things that our ancestors were not able. Some of them yes. And what? Those who have ascend, because not every ancestor have ascend into higher levels of consciousness. Those are the ones bestowing upon us their gifts, wisdom, and their magic and their gifts and all of the secrets and all of the things. You know what I mean? And so you're meant to reconnect with your ancestors. You are meant to create the vessel, the space. You are meant to reconcile with your family, with your lineage, with what's living within you. And that means that there might be different ancestors from different cultures, because yes, we are the human race. Just because you see me and this, I was born in Costa Rica, that doesn't mean that I do not have European blood, that I don't have, ancient European ancestors, Native American ancestors, our original people from Costa Rica and all Mesoamerica, African ancestors. This is the thing. You don't know who is going to show up for you in your ancestry. And that's the beauty. And so if you have not yet gone through the process of the root chakra, number one, you cannot bypass the root chakra. And you have not ground yourself with the mother, with Mother Earth. Then you tell me, you're going to keep waiting. And this is why we have many people waiting. You have to pay attention. How many spiritual teachers around selling you fake initiations? Everything is about a spiritual business and a spiritual business, right? Spiritual entrepreneurs, a spiritual college. They don't care getting you into debt. They don't care about you. All they care is about their own matrix of illusions, and they're wrapped in their own stories and attachments, and they have spirits who are feeding out of them. There's so much that goes I've been there, where I was navigating the Starseed Collective, the Matrix. That shit was real. The beautiful things, yes, but then the same way it came down. The same way that I was going from freaking, being all persecuted, and it was a whole shit show. Discernment. You have to connect with your ancestors. They will show you truth. You don't have to believe me. I'm not here forcing or chasing. I'm just here as a messenger. You have to see it with things. Many people are not moving forward on their journey. Their incapacity to receive their blessings and everything else is because they're still very attached to those fake matrices, because there's a matrix, and within the matrix there are small matrices that are being ruled by collective egregores and entities. There are lower dimensions to this plane of existence. And if you don't know, you might be wrapped in the lower astral. In the lower astral, as above, so below, you're going to meet trickster spirits. And so the same thing you're going out there is happening here in the below. So you have to reconnect with your ancestors. You have to reconnect with your ancestors. And you can say, hey, Nelamat, I don't know who my ancestors are. It's okay. They will come to you, but you must prioritize. You must prioritize reconnecting with your ancestry. You must seek for guidance and help. Oh my God. So I'm here being at service. Like I said, I'm not forcing anything into anyone. It's up to us. You are on Earth Hero's journey. There are people out there who are like, oh, I've been awakened for 30 years. Okay, what have you done? Have you changed? They're still in the same unhealthy relationship. They're still living in survival. They're still living in a struggle. Just because you're like awakened, now these terms, the awakened, the chosen one, the starseeds, the label, we love labels, right? You can claim whatever. That doesn't mean that you have embodied and truly ground, because there's the grounding, the birthing of your life purpose. And so anyways, thank you so very much for listening. Everything I'm speaking here, I do it with a lot of reverence. I know this journey. I know what it takes. And I'm so grateful that today I am at peace. And I had to be running away from freaking spaceships and entities and all kinds of shit, and being all in spiritual psychosis and scared and all of the things and the confusion, the illusions. I'm just saying, you guys, ground yourself with the mother and call in your family. And stop trying to run away from your humanness, because you came here to have a human experience. Just you're in the spirit. Of course, you're a child of the universe. Of course, you are the stars. But humanity doesn't need special agents to come and save and all of these things. Pay attention. This distortion happens before. If you go to the astrology and you read about it, the deception will always exist. It's up to us. It's always up to us. All right? Peace and love. Namaste and blessings.